during the stream. Oh my goodness. I am not used to the Windows platform, you guys. I'm going to have to go ahead and get this moving. Please let me know if you are able to hear me in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me now. What is good, team? What is good with everybody? Please let me know that you can hear me in the chat right now, team. Check, checkity check, checkity check, check. Check, chickadee check, chickadee check, chickadee check. Hey, Snowdrifter, what's up, man? How you doing? At least we can hear me now. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we had to hit the refresh button a couple times, guys. This is the interesting part of Windows computers. This thing will start an update that no matter what you say or do. This thing just went, all right, you know what? You're going to start your live stream in about 10 minutes. Let's do this update right now. We got enough time, right? So Windows just decided to short sell me like nobody's business, right? It just went short Arca, and that's what happened right now. Good to see you, team. Good to see everybody. Oh my goodness. What's with man? Oh, what? No way. Are you hearing a weird thing on the mic? That's interesting. That shouldn't be sounding like that. I got an idea. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Not really sure why you're hearing it like this, team. But I can go ahead. I'm wondering. Somebody said the same thing in my live stream on Discord. That they were hearing me in a weird way, like it didn't sound as clean, right? So I'm gonna actually switch off my headphones right now. Let me see if it makes any difference at all, right? Let's see. You know, somebody actually ended up giving me a really nice gift here, and this is a HyperX headset, right? And the HyperX headset has a built-in microphone into it, and I'm not gonna use that, right? Because I have my own microphone for streaming and stuff, but I'm wondering if that actually made a difference. So please let me know if actually this sounds a little better. There's no, yeah, here we go. Does it, are we getting it now? Are we actually getting some image? Are we getting some video? What's up? What is up? Oh my goodness. All right. So also let me know how the mic sounds now, right? Jeez. Damn, Windows is really doing something now, man. Jeez, I'm telling you guys, if you are new to the stream right now, if you're just coming in, it's like, you know, 5 minutes in or 10 minutes into the stream, this thing is like, you know what, let's just go ahead and update, right? So I forget that Windows likes to do that. It just likes to update whenever the hell it wants, right? So that's something that I'm not used to, right? As Mac does not do that. But it's all good. It's all good, team. Let me know how the mic sounds, by the way. It's Leo's, man. What is up, my brother? Yes. I actually ended up. Remember we were talking about this in the night streams that I was gonna end up switching up. I was gonna switch up the whole thing and start live streaming in the day. So it happened, man. It happened. We are here. We're doing good. What's up, the Wargos? XX saying what's up, Arca baby. FNGR, APE, AMC, please. Oh man, you know what? What happened? Is the hearing still on? What was decided? Is it for sure? Is AMC for sure gonna what is it? They're gonna convert the AMC equity into AMC. Is that what's gonna happen now, or what? It sounds great. Okay, good. I was actually getting let's see, Lockup was telling me that it sounded like a Walmart mic. So I was curious. I was actually curious to see if that's still the case, right? Because I don't. Yeah, guys. I don't want to sound like I'm actually playing around with a Walmart mic, right? So these are the settings right here for my for the Shure MV7 microphone, right? So. Yeah, here we go. Oh my goodness. The headphones that I just switched over to, which are the Audio-Technica, the M50Xs, those have a lot of gain in my ears, so I'm just turning it down right now. That's insanity, super loud. All right, but yeah, team, thank you everybody for coming by. We're chilling now. James needs to look at VIRI. Of course, we're gonna look at VIRI. What the heck is happening over here, man? Damn. Oh man, but it's good to see everybody here. So what's up, moderator Samantha H? Good to see you here. Sebastian Lim, my goodness, man. Rocket Lock, good. I'm very happy. I'm very happy that I'm sounding perfect. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I kind of got used to that little bit of higher gain, so I'm gonna just move my little interface control back over here into the other screen, into the massive 49-inch curve that I'm still not quite used to. Guys, this is an entire system that I'm not used to overall. Okay, so I apologize for the technical difficulties, but we are good. Everything is chilling now, team. All right, so let's see. What's up, Arca? Are you saying XX? Are you saying please respond? Or hearings are through tomorrow at okay, so we're yeah. You know what? It's definitely something that I have to keep an eye on, and it's not because of the people or retail or whatever. It's also because I'm trying to get the hell out of it. So I know institutionally, right? Today, I forgot who dumped the APE equity. They dumped a huge position on it, right? So I'm not sure of the details on any of that stuff just yet. Right, but yes, we have to keep an eye on it myself because remember, guys, I'm in the process of liquidating all of my positions in all of these brokers that I have, so that I can feed into my futures trading broker. So I'm definitely not going to be long-term investing anything. So I'm just going to go ahead and get I'm going to be trading the micro E-minis, right? So either NAS or the S&P. So we'll keep an eye on those too, okay? And I know that we have to look at VCIG for Sebastian Lim here, so no problem. SOUN, yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look at that one too, right? So let's load up some of these tickers right now before we get them, before we evaluate them, right? So or review them. So this is going to be the ticker symbol APE. We'll have that there. Let's go ahead and move on to the next iteration here, or instance. Sorry, right? So let's see. Man, what a rough start to this thing, bro. This is crazy. But I do have to say, guys, I shifted over the location of the computer. Now it's actually I'm not saying invisible. I'm saying that is within visibility. So it's actually set to the right of me right now. All of its glory and lights and little, it's a whole EDM show right next to me. This computer's insane. Guys, it's literally trying to control Arca. And I'm also going to be building this a language model myself within it, right? So that's why I'm in the market for a bigger video card, right? Moderator Hound, what's up, my dude? I've been reconfiguring my style, my bro. That is good to hear. I can't wait to hear what you've been doing, my brother. So if you do ever feel safe, or if you do feel like you would like to express what you're feeling, come through the Discord and let's see what we can do, my bro. You know I am here for you always, right? So we need FNGR too. Yeah, so ticker symbol FNGR will be something that we look at, right? So I'm sorry, somebody said SOUN, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and load a SOUN as well, right, team? And right, so I'm not actually sure what came out in the what is it called? In the jobless claims, right? I'm not sure if that's already out, but there were a couple things that we were waiting for to come out today that were critically important to the price action in the broader markets, which, by the way, seems like whatever is happening is being liked by retail or the broader sentiment, right? So that's the SPY is ripping, right? It's interesting that the TQQQ hasn't actually followed just yet, but I'm sure it'll eventually pull through, right? So yeah, this ticker here, we're supposed to do AMC, right? So I'll go ahead and load that up. Let's see, the GTII, damn it. Oh, you know what? CLMV is another one that we should look at. Nice little upside on the day still, right? So ALTO and Finger, right? So let's go ahead and load those up too, guys. We'll keep an eye on a few tickers today, guys, no problem. And we'll see what's going down, right? Leading up to Friday, which, by the way, if you're not familiar with what tomorrow is, it is absolutely one of the biggest macro closures we have during the year. Okay, so on par with the end of the year, actually. So what you're looking at tomorrow is actually the weekly closure, right? Of course, because it's Friday, right? So you're also expecting your monthly closure, your bi-monthly, your quarterly closure, and your semi-annual closure. So you're looking at 6-month candles ending tomorrow. So tomorrow, guys, that is a very, very important day. And it is critically important because a lot of assets are not currently sitting in the best positioning, right? So we have to kind of, I just have to express my discretion there, right? And also my concern over some assets. So if you are curious over what you're seeing, definitely pop up your semi-annual chart, right? Like your 6 month, your 3 month, your bi-monthly, whatever it is. Take a look at the monthly candles, and you'll catch some surprises there that you wouldn't, that are either good or just not at all in the asset's favor that you're looking at, right? So I would really like for you to do that, right? So I'm trying to hint as much as I can for you to just look at it, right? Just do that, just do it, all right, team? So let's go ahead and see what else we have, right? Somebody else asked me to take a look at ALTO. Of course, I'll put it on there. Not a problem, guys. And we'll look at Veri as well. So let's see what else are we doing, right? Daryl is asking me for SPCE. What is that, bro? Is that let's see, successfully launched and stock tanked. Whoa, that is an inverse like nobody else. I'm actually very curious to see what you're talking about. Damn, so ticker symbol SPCE had a successful launch and then the stock tanked? What? Damn. Today's markets, team, today's market is ruthless. Oh my goodness. Let's see. So look at that. Look at that capitulation. Insanity. That is messed up. That sucks. Holy goodness. All right, yeah, we'll go ahead and keep it up there. We'll take a look, right? So Otto saying, Amigo, is Oscar del Paso. What is up, my bro? Good to see you here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Man, very good to see the chat growing, guys. So anyway, if you are new to the chat, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit the bell icon so that you are notified anytime that I am live or upload any video at all, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of things, guys. Let's just evaluate the broader markets real fast here. So we're still sitting at 437.67 on the SPY, looking very good. TQQQ 39.13, struggling a little bit to get over that resistance. We'll go ahead and keep an eye on those things as well as the day moves, right? If you are concerned about GTII, take a look at this, 76.50 and still suggesting a little bit of a downside. However, the RSI on the daily is looking like it's reaching that support level. I'm talking about a very specific support here, by the way, okay? We're talking, oh wait, what's up? Good to see you here. We're talking about a support from the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile, right? So this is it's very likely to find a floor soonish, right? So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Ticker symbol Veri, just like Sebastian Lim is saying, there is a very nice hammer candle printing on the daily. Of course, we still have about 2 hours and 57 minutes to go to close out that candle. Well, please just know that I mean, if it does close with the support of the SMA 50, that would officially mark the SMA 50 touch, right? And the validation of it. One more thing to keep an eye on is actually the silver cross, right? So as you can see here, this is something that's absolutely bullish for Veri and something that I have been talking about for a few days now. Take a look at what's happening here. This is, let's see, where is the deviation happened, guys, but no problem. It's okay. Now the SMA 50 is crossing above the EMA 55. That's not as bullish as we want from the silver cross. It's actually on the 3-day. All right, so here you go. 3-day is still converging. We're very close to getting that silver cross. So if we're able to validate the EMA 21 and the 55 alongside the SMA 50 with the golden cross, things are going to start looking okay, guys. But we have to just, keep a close eye on it. Make sure to take profits here. If you're in the green, guys, do not ever not take your profits, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at the chat right now. What's up, Away? Thank you so much for letting everybody know to hit that like button. Of course, my brother, good to see you. We have a few tickers to look at right now, you guys. We're going to be starting off with VCIG. We got APE, AMC, right? We're going to be looking at SOUN. A lot of things to be looking at, guys. So let's see. And yes, of course, I forgot to actually put ticker symbol FNGR, right? We need to get that in there as well. Lots of people looking at Finger right now. Oh my goodness. So I moved away from swing trades and have been focused on pre-market day trades. Of course, my brother, that's where the liquidity is, right? So I've been learning about dividend stocks lately too. Are you familiar with yield max ETFs? No, but I am actually trading levered ETFs and inversed as well. So both short and both of the short pro shares and the long pro share variety. So and also something, Hound, I'm actually gonna be I'm liquidating all of my positions. I don't know if you heard me say this, right? So I'm liquidating all of my positions in the brokers that I currently have, and I'm going to start actually trading the S&P 500 micro E-mini contracts for the futures, right? So I saw that there is an absolute potential for gain. Like, for example, WTI, right? Oil futures. For every point you go up, like say for example, it's at like 1500 or something, it goes to 1501. That point is equivalent to $12. So, and for one contract, right? So, man, I found that there is an absolute, like, serious potential for gain in futures trading. And as well, I mean, the whole thing here is that I don't have a $25,000 account to trade, right? So this is going to be good. We can do unlimited trading, no PDT rule there as well. But I'm very curious over what you're talking about, Hound. Please let me know what yield max ETFs are, right? So give me some tickers there. We'll evaluate them and take a look at them, right? So it's actually not a sector or a field that I tend to that I'm even familiar with. So yeah, please let me know. Anyway, guys, let's go to VCIG here. Take a look at the daily real fast before we actually make some rash decisions, right? So, man, if anything, it looks like it's building a very interesting bull flag here on the larger time frames, right? Maybe the buy daily. Yeah, buy daily looks okay-ish. It's already one candle over. I feel like it could have done it more. I feel like it could have actually succeeded this on this candle instead of this one, right? So, let's see what else. We're currently okay, guys. So if there is a downside to get familiar with for VCIG, I would be very careful, because that next downside could actually be quite significant here, and that could be to test the 1.618 at 498. Okay, so I mean that's a larger time frame, of course, but let's see. If we were to evaluate. Oh man, yeah, it's not looking like it wants to hold too high. The EMA 55 is actually coming right down to that same target that we spoke of at 498, right? So let's see the hourly time frame. Let's see how far this thing can actually go down. It's already getting very oversold too. Please notice that. Fresh, actually bearish cross here on the MACD. So another thing to keep in mind here is that it could be a range as well. 521. So let me draw a secondary range for you, right? Just in case we do get a secondary bounce here, then you can expect it maybe from this area here too, right? So 505 to around 520 could be another support zone for at least a shorter time frame, and I'm talking about 30 minutes to the hourly time frame. So keep an eye on that, right? So there may actually be a bounce from there, but know for a fact that there are still several obstacles to kind of overcome. We definitely don't want to close this 6-hour bearish engulfing here. Keep an eye on that as well, right? So let's see the 8-hour. Could it be printing the same thing? Nope. 12-hour, let's see if there's any indications there. No. And the daily, of course, right? So if we close that daily, here it's bearish engulfing, right? So let's go ahead and just zoom in and look at the valuations of this candle. The opening valuation of this candle here is 557, right? If we close anywhere, this candle closes anywhere beneath 557, that would mark a daily bearish engulfing, and it would actually give us a higher probability of a continuation to the downside, which would give this a higher probability touch, the 472 zone. Okay, so that we're talking about several percent loss here. Okay, so if it does print, you're looking at first the bottom side of about 7% to, let's see, what I'm looking at is probably a max 12% loss, right? So keep your eyes on that daily closure. We need to make sure that we can cover above the opening of the prior day's candle. Okay, so that is 557. Eyeball that. Okay, we're gonna see if we can get that bounce from to the upside from 505 to 520, right? And then we're gonna see if we can actually make that move to the upside. There's still some time left to trade, right? So yeah, my brother, those are my thoughts on that. So keep an eye on that. Okay. Take a look at PBR. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look at that one too. Why don't we just load it here, and let me move on to a few other requests, right? But yes, we have to yeah, we'll look at this. All right, so here we go. Man, that thing is ripping, whatever that is, right? So Petróleo Brasil. Okay, nice. Wow, where did you get this from, bro? Did I even type it right? Yeah, NYSE. Nice. The dividends. Oh, cool. Gotcha. Man, okay, so anyway, so no, Arca PBR is just for dividends. Got you. Oh, I thought you were saying to pull it up. I was like, peanut butter and jelly, let's go. All right. Oh my goodness. Tristan Martinez saying, hope you're having a great morning. And no, we're going to cover SOUN pretty soon. I hope you're having a good day too, right? Sandman, yes, we're going to be looking at SOUN too, team. Let's go ahead and just take a look at a couple of things first before we get there, right? So here is going to be ticker symbol APE. Lots of speculation happening right now, right? Because the hearing is actually underway presently, right? We are to face the absolute decision of whether this is going to be merged into an AMC share or it's going to maintain the way it is, right? So could the allegations be true, right? Could there have been a deal that would go against retail is essentially what we're looking at here, right, for the hearing. So I guess, I'm not actually paying attention to the hearing myself, but it looks like there's no clear indication as to who is actually winning or losing. Remember that it's going to be today and tomorrow, okay? So keep your eyes on that, all right? This is a small resistance that we're facing here, but remember that these targets marked in green. Somebody asked me, Arca, what are you going to do about your APE position? Well, I've already averaged one time. So this was my plan. I was going to average when we reach 174, right? I was going to average again when we reach 169 if we do, and again at 164 if we do. Okay, so these are my targets that I'm looking at to finally average down. I'm talking about for the first time in 2 years. Right, team? So just know that I have not been averaging down this whole time. I really am actually strategically trying to get out of this ticker, hopefully by tomorrow, and then that's gonna be a nice little chunk of cash that we can add to the futures trading broker, right? So yeah, that's what's going on with ticker symbol APE. Eyeball the 174 as a resistance, right? That is located at the 2.272. If we are to succeed at the 272. Then there is the $1.77 region at the 2.618 Fibonacci ratio to keep an eye on. Okay, so let's move on here. Let's go look at AMC real quick. AMC is actually making a very interesting run. Huge. Wow, that actually is interesting. So it actually showed that they liquidity trapped longs up here yesterday. So who the hell bought that at the end of the day? Oh my goodness. This was right at market close. Somebody actually went long on this hard. I don't think that was retail, guys. This is a huge pump to the upside. This is massive. Let's see what the hourly candle is even measuring. That is huge. Oh my goodness, 15 million on this hourly candle. That is insanity. What that is telling me, guys, is that this is probably some type of institutional trade, right? A whale actually came in here institutional, right? I don't think this could have been retail. This is massive. And they created essentially a liquidity trap, right? So they allowed probably somebody to get out or something, right? So now what's interesting is that it shows that we're kind of creating now a bear trap. So this is like playing the game both ways. This is a substantial bounce from actually this zone here. What is it exactly, right? We are currently sitting 3% up. It was at about 3.43% up at one time. All right, so this is very interesting price action, guys. This is playing absolute games right now with retail. And like I said, there's still no clear indication as to who could be winning, but AMC is ripping to the upside, which is honestly something that is kind of normal, right? Because I'm saying this because you know that the markets rally when we're about to hear the Fed speak, right? The markets rally when there's a Fed minutes, when there's an FOMC, and then the market will react accordingly depending on the news that's released on the day, the day of. Right, so in this case, that's what I'm kind of seeing. This is extreme volume coming in for AMC. There's a lot of price action here, guys. So this volatility is very likely because of the hearing, of course, right? So if we were to mark off some zones to look out for, right, let's pull up the daily time frame and see, first of all, what we have. Huge gap down here, and then a covering of that gap as well. We're currently sitting at support, okay? So the support right now to take into account for AMC, if you're going to chart it, is actually this, right? So just know, you guys, that AMC is also it's psychologically impaired, right? Lots of sentiment behind this, lots of people hurt, right? So I don't see it quite what like Mullen did, right? But it's still pretty there, right? So immediate short-term support between 423 and 428. If we were to face any type of resistance to the upside, let's pull up some moving averages. We in fact tested that just yesterday, right? The EMA 21 located at 455, which yesterday we got a 455 high. that is going to be one of our resistances to combat today. Okay, that would be now consistent to 453. Okay, so keep an eye on those targets as the AMC asset shows that we still have some upside to go. Okay, so but you know, this is just mad games right now, you guys. Okay, there's still some ebb and flow here. Expect the support right now. We're literally touching it. Okay, so I'm saying the downside here as well, not only because of this candle prior, right, but also because of the EMA 21 on the 4-hour located at 425. This is your range. All right, watch out for it. And let's go ahead and move on to the next ticker here. It's SOUN. Lots of people asking me to take a look at this. What's going down with this team? Let's see. So Gary saying, good afternoon, Arca. If you have some time, can you look at MMAT? Yeah, of course. I noticed that it actually started ripping to the upside. Pretty nice, right? So the last time I saw it, I think it was at, what, 18, hold on just a second. Let me tape it. Type it. Right, so metamaterials, right? So yeah, the last time I looked at it, it was around 18 cents back here. Yeah, 18 cents was literally back here. So I was saying, somebody was asking me on a space call, like, what, Arca, what do you think about longing MMAT for a long-term play? I'm like, well, it's, you know, it's a micro cap right now, so that's actually something that's very speculative, and lots of, you know, with the whole MMTLP community as well, there's a lot of speculation happening behind MMAT, which makes it difficult for me to give such what's up, Pam? For me to give such, you know, I wouldn't say advice, right? It's just, the thing is that this asset has, like I said, guys, it's just lots of sentiment behind it, right? But I said, if you're looking at long term, you probably, it's not going to matter if it goes any lower from this point here. And remember, that was literally around April, right? So we're looking at 18 cents. I said this is a pretty good zone. It's actually marking a potential bottom, or marking a potential floor here, right? So that's what I said, right? And we got an upside here all the way up to like 29 cents. I'm sure a lot of people made some cash in that, right? But in that process, it actually built an ascending broadening wedge, and it actually exceeded its very genesis of the price. In fact, it went down to 1731. So this formation here, you guys, that like a bullhorn, right? This is often the formations that I present to you, right? Like this type of thing right here. Literally this, right? So this is this type of play. It's very common in bear cycles or consolidation periods. Okay, so yeah, we'll go ahead and look at that one too. But let's look at SOUN right now. Lots of people asking me about it. Let's pull it up on the daily. So the level that you're in right now. Oh, look at that! Look at that, man! Slam dunk play. What is up, Sebastian Lim? Take a look at that, my bro. We actually put together this play, team. We put it together from, I believe, around 340, right? We actually marked off the targets that we were going to look at, being 401, being 429, and the top side of 494. We literally said every single day that we were talking here about SOUN that I still am favoring the target of 494. Team, if you have not been present for this, I apologize, but we have been talking about this, and the retracement from this 494, it is absolutely expected. Okay, you guys, we're looking at the confluence here of the 2.618 perfectly at the 494. This play, team, was absolutely executed perfectly, and every single target that we talked about has been met now with retracements. Awesome, 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 man. Let's go. All right, team. So what we want to do here is find the support from the current location that we're in. Remember, yesterday I talked about a temporary resistance here. We did meet it a couple times, which is not bad, but now it can hopefully serve as a support before a continuation to the upside, because momentum here, guys, is absolutely pivoted towards that upside. What I want you to understand and be very clear of here is that in 2 hours and 41 minutes, you're going to get a daily closure. If this daily closure closes literally anywhere between this moment here and, to the wick low, around 447, that would mark off a pretty strong shooting star candle with a very high wick and a very good quality formation. Okay, so that would indicate a potential retracement. I can't tell right now that it's going to be a reversal, but what I can say is that a very strong retracement could happen if we do print that shooting star there. Okay, keep those psychological things in mind, like the formation theory. All right, so that is something that you want to be aware of, that you want to make sure that you don't have that you're not missing, okay? You want to make sure that you focus in on your psychology just like you would on your mathematics and everything else, right, team? So let's go ahead and take a look at the chat real quick before we continue on SOUN, right? So first of all, we want to pull up some averages too. Anyway, so let's see. Yeah, Gary, let's see. Gary, you said, what's up? Okay, so dang it, boy, saying, hey, everyone, don't forget to smack that like button. Appreciate these lives, man. Dang it, boy, thank you so much for reminding the crew here. Of course, team, please remember to hit that like button, right? Hit that notification bell so that you are aware whenever I do upload or stream live, which is usually on a daily basis now, right, team? So TTG saying, Viri, yes, we'll go ahead and take a look at VIRI as well, no props. So the War Ghost saying, yes, I love these Arca plays. SOUN was a slam dunk. My bro, thank you so much. You met me there. We absolutely looked at this from the Discord, right? This was perfect. This was executed awesome, guys. Awesome times. And if you are curious over what that game could have been, we're talking about a better part of entry here at 347, right? We are looking at the top side of the target that we were looking for right over here. This marks off, team. Now the Discord is up. This is 42 spot, 5% to the upside, guys. This is an absolute ripper, man. This is awesome. Congratulations to you, to whoever decided to take the trade. Of course, we're talking about paper trades here, team. We're not talking about live cash. We want to keep the retail safe. All right, team. So, yes, let's go ahead and move on with the chat here. So, Berenson saying, did we touch the bottom recently at 448 on which ticker, my brother? Please let me know what you're talking about. And let's see. Alerts are on for the next one. The War Ghost, thank you so much. And Sandman, thank you. No, my brother, thank you for always showing your support here, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next one, team. Let's look at ticker symbol ALTO, which is another request and actually another ticker that we've been looking at a few times throughout the last live streams, right? So let's see. Hold on just a sec, team. I need to get the air on. I need to get the air on in here, right? Because it's getting super hot already. And by the way, team, where do you trade? Let me know. Let me know in the chat here. Where is it that you trade? On your laptop, on your phone at work? Do you actually have a trade station set up at home? Is it an actual office that you have? You're a baller in here and you're not actually telling me or nothing, right? So what is it? Where is it that you trade the most comfortable, right? So you all know, I've been putting up the pictures of the new setup that I have been going, right? So you know that I actually trade from a desk. And that is honestly like one of the easiest ways for me to actually consider getting long or short any assets, trading in general, right? Day or swing. This is the spot right here. Ali is saying, "Hey Arca, can you please analyze EYPT?" Yeah, man. Let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and load up another master layout and load up that thing right there. So let's see, trading at home by the laptop, says Ali. That's awesome, my brother. Now moderator Hound saying Weeble on my phone gets it done. That is really Hound, that seriously is like how I traded for so long until maybe like today. No, I'm just kidding, man. I'm still doing it like that. I'm gonna get out of these brokers though. Like I mentioned, I'm trying to get into futures trading, my brother. And thank you so much for for showing me those tickers. I didn't mean to not acknowledge what you said, as I'm just like trying to take over here some. Oh my goodness, guys. Yeah, this was a whole other play that we did for EYPT, right? It's too convoluted here. So let me go ahead and load up a brand new iteration instead, right? So let's do this. Let's see, EYPT. Good deal here, guys. No problem. Let's load up a couple of the tools that we look at, right? This is literally why I prepare my sessions in that master layout, because this is honestly the easiest way for me to just get through the tickers. It really does help to look at things like this, right? Like the master layout that you see. All right, so daily time frame showing a massive upside here. This could be, wow. Okay, you are currently at a breakout here, and let me see. Could it have been? I guess it could have. I guess it could be a symmetrical break. I'm sorry, a right-angled breakout here. So let's go ahead and take a note into that, right? I'm just gonna draw it here so that I don't forget. Right, team, remember, I'm not actually ignoring your requests. I'm just trying to make sure that I have at least a note here over what I see immediately, right? So there we go. Let's go ahead and now move on to ticker symbol ALTO and see what the good deal is here, right? So ALTO, let's go ahead and jump into the daily time frame and see what it's got. Huge resistance following here, you guys. But what I have to tell you is that we were looking at a resistance yesterday at around 301. We ended up touching the top side of about 294. slightly short of what we looked at, right? I will have to evaluate exactly why I could have made a little bit of a mistake like that, but well, I guess I see why I would do it through these candles here. That's very small. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, there's still a chance that we can still get that upside even still, right? So let's evaluate that. Let's go to the immediate short-term time frame and look at momentum versus volatility. So shorter immediate time frame is absolutely oversold, and we're pivoting towards the upside. I know that we can actually fail some of those pivots, right? So keep an eye on those things, right? When you're facing this upside, you don't want to get too excited because sometimes it could be a tiny fake out of sorts, right? So we don't want to fall victim or captive to those situations. Okay, so the next thing to look at here is the hourly time frame. Let's see if we're getting, the hourly still shows a downside. Okay, team, so if that is still consistent, like the bi-hourly, that means that we are to face a potential downside here to 268 at the very lowest, okay? And I'm really thinking 272 could be that actual support touch, right? Consistent to the 4-hour time frame. Let's see if there's a moving average around there. Well, in fact, there is. Check it out. The EMA, this is the EMA 9, right? Located right about 271, right where we said that we were going to face a support. Very likely for price action to touch there. I'm really talking about in the relative short term. But after that, this thing is actually set to continue to the upside, team. This is not looking bad. 6-hour time frame, massive upside here in the bullish control zone, increasing volatility. 8-hour time frame, huge upside in the bullish control zone and in the gravitational zone. All right, we have actually increasing volatility there too. Bullish MACD cross, upside of the 14-day simple on the RSI. This is, I see a higher probability here, guys, of actually touching up to that target, and I do believe that it can reach. Right now we're facing a little bit of resistance on the daily, right? Because we have the SMA 200 literally right here, right? So momentum is still suggesting an upside. Daily time frame is barely making the bullish cross on the MACD. We're getting that first bar of bullish pressure, so that is awesome. Upside pivot with, damn, what? This is a setup. This is a whole setup. Damn it, man, now I have to backtest this. Holy crap, this is volatility versus momentum with DMI support. And what I mean by that, I'm sorry, let me give you some context over here. I'm just a nerd talking out of my face right now. So anytime that volatility starts to expand from contractive extremes or expansive extremes, paired with an upside pivot on stochastic momentum, this paired, there's both criteria here, paired with DMI support, meaning that we have the ADX, which is the trending market. Okay, so if this is at 30%, the dotted white line, if it's at 30% and up, that is strong market trend to whoever is leading the way. In this case, we have DMI plus representing the bulls and DMI minus representing the bears. Clearly, the bulls have crossed upside of the bears, and we have maintained the lead, and now we're thrusting to the upside with where 42% ADX. So this is absolutely a setup. What I mean by that is now I'm going to have to go back in time here, and I want to see any time that volatility versus momentum has made this expansive move with an upside on contraction. With an upside on momentum, historically speaking, right? So we're just gonna have to go back and mark every single iteration. Like here's one right here that went straight up to the upside, right, with an upside pivot. And that was this is very interesting, right? Because this is actually this move here, right over here. This is that stochastic momentum with the contraction to expansion. All those iterations that have happened historically, I would like to measure them because this may have this just fired the signal literally today. And it fired it within the last hour. So this is a statistical move, guys. This is a volatility play remember, I've been talking about this very macro breakout. This is a broadening descending wedge. My resistance level, I'm still going to favor. I am absolutely looking at the target of about a top side of 312 here before a retracement. The retracement would be very, very, very likely, and that retracement can be to test this gap here. Where the price action is currently facing the resistance right over here. right? So this would be our inflection zone in breaking through to this area here up to the target of 312. Wait for that 312, right? Then we get that pullback, but this thing is potentially setting up for a continuation to the upside, guys. Per the playbook rules, the take profit for this formation itself is located at the genesis of the formation, which could be 531. That is not, I'm not saying that we're going straight there. I am saying that it's going to take some time for us to reach it, and it is up to us to practice our discretion and know that the objective is up here. And if we have upside trend with ebb and flow, then it would be a pretty cool thing to actually trade the ranges on the way up instead of just holding it all the way through, right? That's the easiest thing to do. But remember that we're not quite broken into a bull cycle just yet. So make sure to keep that in line, okay, you guys? So what time is it right now? Is it going to be 3:12 today? You're asking me, right? So it is 10:30 a.m. The algos have officially changed by this time. So no, I don't think that we can reach 312 today. I think that we can reach 312 potentially tomorrow, and today's high could have very well printed, right? I mean, anything I'm saying right now could be invalidated, right? The high of 294 literally was, I think that's the high of day for today. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the shorter time frames, volatility versus momentum, are actually favoring the downside. So see 30 minutes corrective right now still, right? But looking at the hourly, see the hourly time frame, we have downside stochastics. We have a bearish cross printing in the MACD. We have downside pivots on the RSI as well. Bi-hourly time frame has that downside and just starting, right? Also, we're barely bouncing to the upside. So this is why I'm saying that we could have a small retracement first before we continue on to the upside. But the upside may actually lead us to around I would say that, the top side that we can face, guys, is probably around 299 today at the highest, if not 294. So that would be the resistance zone to face. But then when you're jumping into the 4 hour and then a 6 hour, that's where it really shows that we have some thrust to consider here. But in those time frames are a little bit larger, so they are consistent to looking at the future, meaning tomorrow or the following day, as these do have some fresh bullish crosses on the MACD. Temporary downside on the RSI, but most importantly, we have volatility and momentum absolutely respecting each other with DMI support. This is 30% here, you guys. We have DMI support starting at the 6 hour all the way to the daily, so this is very likely going to continue to the upside. But yeah, always manage your risk. Always manage your risk no matter what, all right, team? So let's go ahead and go back to the chat real quick before we move on to ticker symbol SPCE. We got MMAT to look at as well. Actually, one more thing, team. Let's go back over here to, okay, so now the TQQQ is reactive towards whatever is happening, right? So 39.11, very nice. Okay, this is pushing to the upside. 437.62 on the SPY. The broader markets are looking very strong. All right, team. So I am liking what I'm seeing here. Ticker symbol VIRI still holding the support of the EMA 21 and the EMA 55 on the 3-day. And we want to make sure that we can keep that support there, right? Because this would essentially mark off a pretty important closure in 2 hours and 28 minutes of this 3-day candle, right? So maintaining ourselves above this zone here of 120, let's see, 110 to about 122, right? This target here. That would be a very strong closer, because it would mark off just a higher low, and then we could continue to the upside. So we'll evaluate that as well, okay, team? So but yeah, not a problem. We're still looking at pumping on the TQQQ upside on the SPY. Very nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chat and see what's going on here. So let's see. Ali saying estimates short interest for EYPT as of June 29th. 34%, and the cost to borrow is okay. Well, I mean, it's getting, yeah, I see where it's going, and I see why it's being speculated right now. That's good. So actually, another thing to look at is actually AMC's cost to borrow. I believe that actually reached some extraordinary numbers, and take a look at this. We're actually succeeding the support that we're talking about right now. Currently, actually making a move to the upside, 432. Right. Anyway, team, let's go ahead and continue looking at the chat here. So Away is saying, by the way, what futures trading broker are you looking at? So I'm looking at AMP. The brokerage is AMP. A as in America, M as in Mary, P as in Paul. So I'm looking at AMP for a potential for a potential futures broker, as they would actually allow some of the smaller amounts. So like, for example, this, like, you would only need around $400 to trade the micro E-mini futures. So I mean, for one contract, right? So $400, that's actually 100% leverage exposure. So meaning that to trade one contract, you would need $400, and they're allowing you to start trading with $400. That means maximum exposure. That means that you're betting 100% portfolio on one play. So that can incur, like, you can lose your account like right away if you don't know what you're doing, right? So, but I personally am thinking of if I can hopefully gather like whatever I have just dispersed over all of these accounts, then hopefully I can load it up with maybe $4,000 or $5,000 and then actually trade that with smaller contracts, starting with maybe one or two contracts, right? Just to get used to the market flow. And then actually start getting more aggressive and compound that cash, right? So, over what I've had there, just sitting from the massive loss of AMC since when I started trading, right? So all that stuff. So anyway, team, SPCE right now facing a huge capitulation event. This was essentially, pardon me. This was what someone mentioned earlier. I think Ali said that we actually got a successful launch today, and upon that successful launch, there was a drop in price action, a capitulation. So I'm not exactly sure why in the world that would happen when we're getting some good news, right? Literally tangible good news, like physically in your face good news. So that just shows you how the markets can play inverse, or play entirely against you. All right, so anyway, let's just take a look at what's going on here on the daily time frame. So, oh man, okay. If you are long this ticker, there is a serious risk, okay? First of all, this is the daily time frame, and we're currently printing a bearish engulfing candle formation, okay? So this bearish engulfing usually it happens when the forward candle is engulfing the previous candle. In this case, it must be red, and the prior candle must be green in order for it to be engulfed, right? So this candle eating this candle here entirely makes it a bearish formation, which would induce a downside, a temporary downside. There is no actual measurement or implied objective here. It's just for us to know that it is a bearish indication. Okay, so let's see some moving averages here. We're currently holding at the SMA 50 at the present moment, right? So we're looking at 408 as a bottom side support here. If this prints in 2 hours and 23 minutes, if this candle, right, anywhere below the opening value of the prior day's candle, which is 419, we're currently at 420, okay? It's at I'm sorry, 419. I'm sorry, we're currently at 419, but if we close anywhere beneath 443, that's not good. All right, so we're closing anywhere beneath 443 here, team. Okay, that would be very, very bad news for this, and it would actually suggest a downside. And I would think that the first stop to this downside could be at the range of 387. You know what? We'll mark it off too, just so that we have it in line here. So 388 actually to. I would have to favor this. Yeah, I would have to favor this wick here. Yeah, and it actually connects very well to this candle here, and this candle. Lots of resistance here. Support touch perfectly there. Yeah, that would have to favor this target if we do get a bearish closure here, and that would be 372 to 388. Okay, so this may actually start building an ABCD strategy. Okay, so I'm thinking that this was essentially it was already kind of overbought for the day. So this is why we actually got that we actually sold here. So in other words, what I'm telling you is that there is a high probability that this setup is happening. Let me show you. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of this, and obviously going to get rid of that, right? And you know what? We already know that the bearish engulfing is there. Let's get rid of that too. Let's draw a channel and really display what I'm looking at. Something like this, right, could be what's happening right now. So yes. Okay, here we go. So this is essentially what I'm looking at, right? Let me just make sure that I can align it as close as I can, so that we have a true edge over this, right? So then now this, let me see. Could be like that, right? And could be like this, something like that. Okay, team, so this is essentially that channel that I'm looking at. So this would be X here. Let me show you how that's drawn. And using the ABCD structure, right? So this would be the bottom side, X. This would be A. Naturally, we face that resistance there, right? This would essentially be B. The next one, of course, you know, we would look at in a few days to eventually touch the top side of around 723. That is implying that we would actually play the way it should be played, right? So I'm not saying that it is going to happen. I'm just giving you that this is typically how an ABCD strategy works, right? Based on a channel's ascending nature. Okay, so we must keep in mind, how the plays work in order for us to take advantage of them. Okay, but this is a bit, yes, absolutely. Off Grid Gorilla, how you doing, my brother? Good to see you here. So we're absolutely going to take a look at that. I'm sorry that I'm not actually looking at the chat. I'm going to do it right as I finish this. Actually, it's only about a minute left to go on this one. So yeah. Take a look at this, team. There is the possibility here, but I really want to express some type of danger. That it could actually break down from this zone here if we do close beneath that like what we talked about, 443. If we do break down on it, however, I do have to warn short sellers here too, that if this actually prints the bearish engulfing, the traditional rules is that you would actually break down from this channel, not from this point. It would be after 3 touches of the resistance. We're only at 1. So this could be the bulls setting up a liquidity trap, a bear trap. Okay, so we'll likely come back down to this area, resist at about 411, come back down to this area, a bear trap here, and then it would continue on to the upside. That is if we verify or confirm this bearish engulfing. Okay. So let's keep an eye on that as well, team. So SPCE looking very interesting. This could be a long zone, or this zone literally where we're speaking of, right? 419. If not, then it would be 372 or 378. I would proceed with absolute caution. Okay, team. This is right now. The court really goes against both right now. This is supposed to be long territory right now, but the bears are actually trying to set something up. Okay, so be very, very careful in trading that. All right, so let's see. What was the current support and target for today? When you have a chance, thanks for all you do for us, Arca. Not a problem, my brother. So we did speak about SOUN. So the supports I'm looking at are these 452 to 459. We must maintain this with a daily closure in order for us to continue on to the upside. Currently sitting at 464, not bad. Remember that 452 to 459 is the support level that we're looking at for SOUN before a continuation to the upside. And the other validation or confirmation would actually be tomorrow. And why tomorrow? Because we would have a chance to close an entire candle upside of this range here. Okay, so in other words, what I'm saying is that there could be some consolidation here, particularly between the take profit that I looked at 494, but it would be actually 511. So there is a consolidation zone here that we can look at, right? So if we do make a good validation of this area here, this chop box, then the indication of an upside could be likely. Okay, so ticker symbol MMAT. Like I said, realizing that ascending broadening wedge, take profit already happened right now. Massive upside still happening. Let's look at the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame to see what's happening in momentum versus volatility. Upside on that EMA 3. We have decreasing volatility here. That's nice. Let's go to the hourly time frame. Hourly time frame upside pivot on momentum, and we're starting to actually get that curvature of the volatility component. There could be an upside here soonish, right? So I mean that's already happening, right? But what I'm talking about is reactive to the hourly time frame. So now the bi-hourly time frame is showing a little bit of downside. Okay, so this is what essentially is telling me, team. The shorter time frame has a little bit of a pullback to go, and I would suggest this, or not suggest, I'm sorry, I would say, or actually prefer the EMA 9 at around 2028 for a pullback, and that is if we get that pullback. All right, team. The other zone to look at would be the wick low of this candle here, and that would be the 2051. So very close, a very tiny range there for us to get long, right? So it would be something like this here. This is essentially the support range that you are looking at. There are several moving averages there that would eventually support that very thesis of an upside continuation. Okay, so I'm talking about the EMA 21, the SMA 10, and the SMA 50, all located right within that 2027 target. And I mean, it could be very likely that we reach that. In fact, we're about to face an SMA 50 resistance right now. And as you can see, we just faced it on the last 4-hour candle too. So this may actually react negatively one more time too. All right, but it's negative because it's just validating supports before a continuation to the upside. A little bull flag here. It could be a continuation too. All right, team. So MMAT is not looking bad whatsoever. In fact, the 6-hour time frame still has an upside, increasing volatility as well. Let's go ahead and look at the 8-hour. 8-hour is absolutely still within that upside pivot and increasing volatility. The moving average is about to get crossed, so this is good. All right, there's still an upside to be to kind of look at here for MMAT. If I were to put a quick guess here, then MMAT may actually face the top side of about 22.12 to around 22.26. I would say come next week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know, maybe even Monday, right? But this thing can actually make a pretty nice rip to that upside, marking off, let's see, probably a 6.5% move to that upside. If you already long this upon this validation down here, then you would possibly make an 11.3% move to the upside. And just remember here that this is also looking like it was a breakout out of the breakout is just happening right at this second, right? So out of a 12-hour falling wedge. So let's see if we can actually make those lines kind of connect here and see if we have an edge over the trade, right? Maybe something like this here, right? So just like this, and this could have been the bottom side of that support, right? Something along the lines of this. So please remember, team, that this is absolutely discretionary. I am not backtesting any of what I'm talking to you about. It's just pure speculation, right? So 12-hour falling wedge, and this is essentially the breakout of it. The retracement that I'm telling you marks off very well because this is the breakout candle. We need to come back and validate the newly converted resistance into support, and that would mark off that actual support down here. We're talking about 2020, what was it again? Right down here, 2027, right? To about 2051. It would be the resistance validation or support validation before a continuation to the upside. Price objectives now. All right, so there's a couple to look at. First of all, the bull set number one from the actual breakout candle, which would essentially be this one here. Take a trend line from the top side of the triangle to the very bottom side. This is a price objective of 22.86. We already spoke about that target. And why did we speak about that target? Well, because the EMA 55 is located at around 22.31. So very tiny distance away from that, right? So nice. Let's go ahead and get the bull set number two. The target number two is actually from the center of the triangle. Okay, so here's that retracement. Check it out. The retracement's happening right now. We're probably going to get that touchdown to 2027 to 2051. Remember. All right, so next target would be this here from the center of the triangle. Then you apply it to the breakout candle, right, which naturally would be this one. And you're looking at a topside target of about 24.74, marking off a very confluent resistance touch, right? Lots of candles actually within that target too. All right, next target would be the top side of the triangle, right? So in this case, there may be confusion, but I would prefer this to be the top side, not this side, because this is where the candle started on the bottom side, right? So in this case, we would then, of course, apply it to the breakout candle, move it just slightly to the right so we can keep some control over here, right? And this is actually marking off a top side of about 27.25. Okay, again, very confluent to other targets here too. This is 27.30. So these are the targets that I'm essentially looking for, right? I'll mark them off here just so that you can have them, right? So this is one here, 22.89. This is the other one right over here. Let's see, that would be a 24.64. And the top side target is 27.36. All right, team. So that is it for MMAT. That is essentially what I'm looking at, right? We may get actually that touch to the downside here before an accumulation and then a rip to the upside. Keep an eye on it. Very, very healthy 12-hour MACD cross here. We crossed upside of the SMA 14. Everything looking good. Let me get a sip of water. Getting a little parched over here, right? So trying to squeeze in as much as we can. All right. So chat, what are you saying, man? Hound saying compounding is powerful. Absolutely agreed. Starting with 10K and growing it by 10% per week turns into $1 million a year, my bro. Absolutely. And imagine when that actually turns into six-figure trading, right? That would be a million a freaking a quarter. Oh my goodness, man. But yeah, that's very powerful for you to say, my brother. I totally agree with you. WB, just like COSM daily, as you're saying, right? I'm not sure who you were talking to there, but yeah, COSM was something that we haven't looked at yet. But anyway, team, I do have to actually get a couple tickers out of the way here. Let's look at EYPT. This was the one right here, right? So, right, I remembered here. Remember, this is just like the other formation that we're facing. We could be at the resistance level because of the center of the triangle breakout. So let's do this, right? Center of the triangle would be around here, arguably, right? So let's just go ahead and take a trend line and apply it to the breakout candle, which is this one right over here, right? So top side is actually yet to be met, and we could be looking at a continuation here to about $8.42. The present high of day, by the way, is actually $8.18, so getting very close to it already. Okay, it's very confluent with this top side of this wick here as well. Okay, let me just ever so slightly correct that too. And now the top side target to consider would be the one from the hypotenuse, right, all the way down here, and then we would apply that to the breakout of the first outside candle, right? So this one here, that would indicate a potential topside psychological objective of $9.54. Okay, so definitely keep an eye on that too, right? So in fact, if we're looking at momentum, daily is still pumping to that upside very, very aggressively. Let's look at the RSI in comparison too, right? So let's pull up the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame. A small resistance here. That means that we have a chance to get long this ticker, and this is consistent to this bottom side range. Okay, so it would be 781 to about 788 for a reaccumulation here, a continuation to the upside. We're consolidating right now to validate this range as support, right, before a continuation to the upside. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the hourly, and let's see this. Hourly also has that little bit of resistance with a downside. We're already expecting that, right? Potential drop to 781 to 788 by hourly time frame. Here we are a little overextended too, but notice how the RSI is indicating a potential support very soon. Again, consistent to that 781 to 788, right? So 4-hour time frame is already kind of maxed out. We're cooking hard here, all right, team? That doesn't mean that we're gonna pull back. It just means that we're cooking. We're cooking these momentum indicators. They're absolutely maxed out. So that means that there could be some ebb and flow here to let them take a breather, right? Again, to 781 to 788, right? So that we can let them reset a little bit and then continue to the upside. 6-hour time frame should look a little more healthier, right? So a little healthier, sorry. EMA 3 still pivoted towards the upside. In fact, crossing above the SMA 14, very bullish sign. Upside on the SMA 14, upside in the signal as well. 8-hour time frame, having a little bit of an ebb and flow here. You guys, yeah, all of these signals are actually telling me that we may consolidate for some time. I'm talking about a couple days at least, right? So again, I may be wrong here, but the price action is indicating a chop box zone right now that we can stay within, right? So something like this here would be the resistance that we're looking at. Chopping around in here before we can validate it as a good support, continuation to the upside, thus meeting the topside targets of, first of all, resistance touch at 841 before a pullback, and validating this area here as a support at 814 before actually realizing the top side of 953. So watch your longs, watch your profits on this. Never give back to the markets what you've already gained, okay, team? So make sure to manage your risk, make sure to set your stops, make sure to take profits, okay, team? Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next ticker here, and that's going to be FNGR. Lots of questions regarding this ticker, right? So let's go ahead and load up the master layout. Oh my goodness, that was the wrong one. What's going down, team? Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and do it one more time and not mess up this time, right? Who hired this guy? So, all right, here's the master layout, and let's go ahead and load up, what was it? Ticker symbol FNGR, finger motion. Let's see. Okay, so we're at the inflection zone number 2 right now, and this is essentially, I mean, this was one of the entry areas, right? So, man, and we're actually failing to channel one more time. Ascending channel on an ascending channel. Geez, that's terrible. Okay, so, I mean, to tell you the truth, this is potentially going to mark off. Oh, wow. Okay, let me see the 3-day, actually. Yeah, this thing is that. Let me block out the drawings here. Oh, man. Okay, here's an immediate risk to look at, right? 3-day... Yeah, the 3-day candle is closing in 2 hours. Potential bearish engulfing. Okay, so that's a little bit of a risk to kind of look at. Let's see the 5-day. The 5-day actually just started. Not bad. And there could be a support touch here. If we're looking at a larger time frame, yeah, the support here I'm looking at would be consistent to 228 to about 202. 228 to about 202, right? So let's see. And yeah, jeez. I already had that support in there. There is the 202 here. I already had drawn it in. Okay, and this is the top side over here at 210. So I'm talking about 228. So yeah, man, the support levels that I actually looked at are still I don't want to say that it's actually, in fact, I hate saying this word because I strongly believe in higher variance versus precision, right? So I don't believe that there is actual precision, right? Mathematically speaking, of course, there's infinite variance. We can only decide when that precision is met, right? So if you get limited to 20 units for consistent results, for precise results, then we can do that, right? Like the pyramids, they have the location, the geological location of it is consistent to the speed of light. So, but consistent to 9 figures of the speed of light, right? So as it's in the hundreds of millions range. I think is 900 million miles per second or something like that for speed of light. But then beyond that, there's fractions and fractions and fractions that go on infinitely, similar to pi, right? So something like that is what I'm speaking of. I hate to say precision here or precisely this zone down here, but the fact that I looked at it twice in a geometrical level, meaning the 4-spot 236 at 203 or 202, and then I came up to that same result in a discretionary manner, that would actually give me the idea of some precision in mind. But again, like I said, it's just I have a hard time believing in precision. All right. So anyway, this is marking off a pretty good support right now. I'm not sure that I can trust it, as we have the EMA 21 on the 8-hour time frame as a resistance. The EMA 21, I must remind you where it's located too. Okay, that is located, let's see, at 289. We have the golden pocket as a resistance, which is a powerful resistance just as well as it is a powerful support. Because when we're coming down to that golden pocket as a support, very bullish area to be in. When we're coming up to that support zone inversely, then that is a very strong resistance. And it is marking off, it is marking off right at that 0.5 at 287, and the EMA 21 at 289. Yeah, this is highly confluent, and there could be a heavy resistance here to follow, right? Potentially drop to the EMA 55 8-hour, right? $2.31. Essentially come back up and validate the low of this candle here. This was the invalidation candle, right? So there is a chance that we can invalidate here, and then use that as a resistance before actually touching down to the 202 to 210 area where the SMA 50 is located. And by the way, where a golden cross is happening, this is likely what's happening now. I see. Let me get rid of these moving averages and I'll show you a couple things. Like this. Here you go. 8-hour golden cross happening right here. The retracement can actually wait, right? Price action can consolidate a little bit to wait for this SMA 50 to come up ever so slightly higher, but it's within the range that I spoke about, which is great. The 6-hour time frame also has the cross down here. 4-hour time frame also has the cross down here. Right, so now it's cascading into the upper time frames. Notice how the 4-hour is starting to validate at the SMA 50. See what I mean? So we're going to validate the SMA 50 from the shorter time frames up, right? So we have to wait for the 4-hour validation. That's good. We may actually have a failure here. Wait for this thing to come up. We'll eventually touch down or wick down to this area here of about 226 where we spoke of on the 8-hour. Resist on this top side here and then wick down one more time to that 202. So validations are still in process here, team, and it's very likely because of this golden cross. But this is a bullish cross. All right, so now that the 8-hour got it, the 12-hour time frame is converging too, but that's going to take some time. And while we are in that process, notice that the SMA 200 on the 12-hour is a resistance too. So whatever's happening here is going to be a huge chop zone, okay? So meaning between the area of 202 to the better part of about 297, we can be chopping around this area here for validation of this golden cross and then make an upside move. It can be validated within a day. It can be validated within 2 weeks. I don't know. That's just something that the sentiment will have to essentially mediate or moderate, right? So we'll keep a close eye on that there too, okay, team? So anyway, let's see. Jennifer, what's up? Good to see you here. Rosie Gray Glass is saying historical support at 2.6-ish. Yeah. I think you're absolutely right, man. Look at this right here. We have that 12-hour candle down here to 258 or 260, right? Huge resistance over here from it. Huge support. I mean, there's a lot of it's a very confluent target. Resistance here at 281. Actually, let's see. Yeah, so I would say yeah. Oh my God, I have the support literally right here. That's where we are. That is literally here, 261 to 277 marks off that final inflection zone. The failure of this candle here at 269 would actually encourage the downside here, right? So, yeah, that's essentially what I'm saying. So, is it common for the support to be moving average 200-day looking at SOUN? No. It's whatever's relevant to your current position. So if you feel that there is something to look at for the SMA 200, which by the way, I know it's hard to see, but it's right in here, right? Let me just zoom in a little bit so you know where it is. All the little blue lines. I'm going to change the color. Man, too much purple going on right now, right? So here's the SMA 200, right? So it's a common moving average to look at in the broader markets in general, particular to the daily time frame, right? So now when you're looking at the SMA 200 in the shorter time frames, yes, it can mark a serious support and resistance sorry. But to say particularly that FNGR respects the SMA 200 is too broad of a term. It's you would just have to look historically and see how many times we have used that SMA 200 as a support and or resistance, right? So then you would likely see that, yeah, well, you know what, it has been used as a resistance several times and as a support. It really just depends on the asset, but the SMA 200 is a common it's a common moving average to keep into consideration while trading. It's just a normal one, right? So within that you have the okay, I'll give you the most popular SMAs, right? So the SMA 10, SMA 20, your SMA 50, 100, and 200 are the most commonly looked at simple moving averages because they have plays within them, like the crossing of the SMA 50 over the 200 on a daily is the golden cross. It doesn't have to be on a daily; it can be anywhere, any time frame, right? But more notably known is the daily time frame, as it marks off a bullish cycle to whatever asset you're in. See now the exponentials to look at are your exponential 21, right? You want to look at your 7 and your 9. Some people tend to look at their 13-day exponential, right? Because there are several plays that you can play between the 7 and the 13, or the 9 and the 13, or the 13 and the 48 exponential, right? There is also the 21 and the 55, okay? Why? Because the 21 crossing above the 55 is a silver cross. So those would be like the 8 or 9 moving averages that are the most commonly looked at within markets, okay? So keep an eye on those. And actually my algorithm here, that actually favors literally all of them except the SMA 20. Right, so I have all of these here. This is literally my algorithm, right? So I have all of these here to that, so that you know that these are the ones that I look at. So notice how I have the EMA 20 over the EMA 50. That's because there's a lot of people who speculate the EMA 50 the EMA 20 over the 50 to be the actual true silver cross. But a lot of traditional traders do not believe that. They believe that it's the actual EMA 21 over the 55. So that's why I have them both here in the custom area where I can load in my own value. I then can display them here, right? So this would be the EMA 21 crossing over the 55, and that is literally how I'm able to see silver crosses and golden crosses. Not only that, is that also the algorithm marks off whenever a golden cross does happen recently, right? So let's go to the 8 hour. Here it is. Here's a golden cross signal. We got the golden cross there. So, I mean, yeah, I'm still working on the algo. It's still doing its thing, right? But little by little. Anyway, team, let's go ahead and go back to the chat here and see what's going down. So I'm actually sitting on my forklift in the shade under the trees. Workshop is too hot in Central Alabama. Great place to trade. Oh, nice. That's a very cool thing, man. It's interesting to get the perspective from everyone, right? Snowdrifter saying, curious your thoughts on OSTK. You know what? I really do have to go right to my boy, but let's look at it real quick. Let's go ahead and look at that. OSTK. As of course, man, I'm going to be here for you as much as I can, right? So let's see. TK ticker, what it's got. So Overstock, what does it have for us? Overstock, man, look at that. Ooh, 8 hour golden cross happening right now, still powering through that upside. I would not long this right now, team. Okay, this is incredibly cooked. The RSI is absolutely, I mean, it's burning hot right now, right? MACD's, literally moonshotting here, right? So huge moves here for this stock. Oh my goodness, this is a complete break of market structure. And why is this breakout happening? Is there news? Let's see. 16 minutes ago, update, Overstock.com completes acquisition of Bed Bath & Beyond. What? No way. What? Damn it, how were we not keeping an eye on this one, right? Good call on that one, my bro. So let's look at BBBYQ. Is it even up? Oh my goodness in heaven. Oh, look at that. Not even BBB. Actually, yeah, it is reactive to it. And bouncing off of our support. Nice. All right, so yeah, oh my goodness, Overstock ripping the upside. This is it's very good news. I'm just afraid that it's gonna capitulate, right? I'm not sure. Actually, yeah, it would capitulate, but not to this would essentially be the long positions, right? So you want to get first. You want to make sure that we can stay at least a day closure upside of this gap. 2647 to about 2756. This is an inflection point, okay? An invalidation area as well. So price action, let's see if it can continue to the upside, okay? So, what? Yeah, actually, I think it could. Damn, this is very powerful. All right, so increasing volatility here, upside momentum on the 30-minute. That's likely to bleed into the hourly. Yep. Increasing volatility still. Look at this. I mean, really within the critical area, it's increasing still. So it may actually max out. Let's go back. Let's see the bi-hourly time frame. So bi-hourly time frame. Oh my goodness, man. This is crazy. My goodness. Jennifer saying, wow. Off-grid gorilla, of course. We're not going to leave without looking at that LCID, right? So let's go ahead and do that, my brother. My apologies to you, as I almost forgot my brother here, right? So yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. Wow, LCID Lucid is ripping to the upside, right? Very nice. Everything is looking positive in the markets, you guys. This is great. All right, so yeah, team, I am going to be favoring this. If there is a pullback, I mean, at all here, it is showing in bi-hourly. Let's see. And the 4 hour. Okay, so yeah, there may be a shorter term time frame pullback, maybe by tomorrow, right? Or in the after hours or something. I'm not sure that this even has after hour. I think it does actually. So 2647 to 2756 may actually be that drop zone to get long here, but it does have an upside indication in several time frames. Okay, so I would really practice with heavy discretion here, but I mean the top side target that I'm essentially looking at is upwards of about 35.24. So definitely keep an eye on that. Okay, 35.24 would mark off a pretty nice upside, right? 35.24 would be right up here. And now would be an additional 15.5% to the upside. Very powerful. Look at Lucid Motors, guys. Lucid Group. Oh my goodness, man. This thing ripping to the upside. We already had seen the potential of an upside anyway, right? So this is the zone that we spoke about just yesterday. We talked about a resistance level right here where we're currently sitting two individual resistance tops, right? Literally at the zone that we talked about. 694 top. Look at the candles. And let me show you just how accurate that's coming in, right? So I'm going to get this out of the way. And the zone that we marked off, 694, right? Now, focus your eyes on this tiny little area here, right? So that's O for opening, high for high, H for high, right? Low, and close, the OHLC. Look at the top side of this candle here, 694 on the H. Look at the top side of this one right here, 693 on the H. Guys, we are showing very, very accurate targets right now, and I expected there to be a pullback from this zone as it's already showing, right? So the pullback here is actually limited. I would have to give you, you know what, let me load up, let's see what else we have here. Let me load up some exponentials, particularly the SMA7 and the EMA7 and the 9. I don't think that we could actually reach that low, but I don't even know. I don't even think we have that much liquidity to reach that. Not even that, or this one here. Okay, well, maybe I was trying not to favor this zone here, but this could be an indication that we're not in the 12-hour for actual trade, for actually trading this, right? So here's the daily resistance of the SMA 50 located at that 290 at 694 as well. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a discretionary pullback target. Okay, so this is very much best guess. I mean, all of these targets that I've been giving you every day have been best guess. Okay, so this is essentially the retracement that I am looking for, and potentially, you know, to potentially get long this ticker. I want to see. Oh man, actually, you know what? We have to favor this candle here. Yeah, wick low of this. Closing of this candle here. Wick low of this, resistance of this wick here, resistance of these two here as well, the opening of this candle. Yeah, all of that is confluent here. I think that the asset can reach 664 to 660, yeah, 664 to 673, and that would actually mark off a pretty nice support here. Let me see the 12-hour time frame. Yeah, so the 12-hour time frame is where that's where the SMA 50 is located. So yeah, I have to favor this 664 to 673 pullback, and then this thing would actually rip to the upside. I do have to say that if we let me see this. Oh, that's nice. I mean, there's a lot of price action happening here, but there may actually be a chance here to kind of slide. So from 694, there is a potential that this thing can actually just kind of like scooch on up. Right, like this. Look, let me show you. This is the 694, right? And then you have this like just nothingness on these candles here, these red candles. There's really nothing to look at there because it's just it's capitulation, right? So if you start to slide up, you're starting to notice here that you have this resistance here that doesn't seem to be so impactful, but I would actually have to favor these resistances here. And that would be another 7% up from the top side of 694. But I am talking about entry down here at the SMA 50, right? So around 663. Now, if we were to favor that upside, that's marking off about a 12% move to the upside, right? So that's a nice scalp or a nice entire day trade, right? So not too shabby. Let's just keep an eye on that. Also, the fact that I'm giving you a target of about 742, marking off the geometric 2-spot 272 at 738, gives it some further validity as well. Okay, so Off-Grid Gorilla, good call on this one, my brother. I'm very, very happy that you have been trading the ranges on this one. This is actually very bullish, and I do still see this asset in preparing a macro breakout here. Okay, I'm not talking about the shorter time frame deal here. In fact, what's really opening my eyes here is this macro breakout. I know it's hard to see because of all these drawings that we just drew here, right? But there is a broadening descending wedge, and the price action currently sitting right over here. That is actually the preparation right from the bottom side of, right from the bottom side of literally the all-time low of this, right? So it's 557. Of course, we found 541. Of course, we found that we found that floor somewhere, and this is a clear indication that that may be all over. So this is good, team. This is good. Topside target maybe about 6 months out. Maybe around the better part of about 4 to 5 months, maybe 27.75 could be the top side here. So I'm not sure that Lucid is powerful enough to actually withstand the EV, the EV pressures. It's a tough business, guys. It's I know I actually hold high regard to Lucid, but there's an absolute risk here for investment long term. All right, so if we don't know, or if we don't feel safe enough to actually trade that long term, then let's trade the Rangers, right? Let's trade the swings on it and kind of compound our cash that way and make it multiply. We can create our own short squeezes without actually short squeezing, team, by trading the ranges, trading the short term. All right, so just keep your eyes on that. All right, team. Looks like Overstock just bought. Yeah, that's what we were mentioning, Steve. We actually just looked at Overstock, right? So we just noticed on the news here that there has been the completion of the acquisition of BBBY. And let's see, that's the assets of $21.5 million, right? So the shares actually literally ran to the upside. This is very nice. I'm expecting a pullback to this zone here. Okay, so Overstock 26.47 to 27.56. But yeah, team, Lucid is looking massively bullish. I am bullish the asset at least for the short term, okay, as this is very, very likely going to present some nice opportunities for us. I didn't notice this here on the 4-hour time frame, SMA 200 resistance. So yeah, that's what I meant to whoever was asking me about the 200-day simple moving average. This is another clear indication, right, that the SMA 200 is a very powerful moving average despite the time frame that you're looking at, right? So, but yeah, team, I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. I need to make sure to get my little guy awake. He gave me trouble last night again, right? But it's all right. He's just having a little bit of an allergy attack at night. Just got to go up and clean his nose every once in a while, right? But it still interrupts his sleep. But I have to try to get him. Have to try to get him back in schedule so that we can, continue our earlier streams. I don't like coming in here at 9:30, man. That's literally when all the action has done. Another thing that we actually didn't keep in mind of here was actually AMC, right? So AMC, real quick before we leave, still making that upside very powerful. I'm wondering what's happening, right? As this is actually fluctuating pretty positively. And look at the SPY actually showing a little bit of a pullback here, no problem. 38.88 on the TQQQ. Everything is looking not bad, right? 76.50 on that GTII ticker. I am still expecting the bottom side of about 70 cents or 68 cents touch one more time before a rip to the upside. We'll figure all that stuff out as we go, right? So no, we already went over VIRI. So we already went over it actually in detail. What is it, a couple hours ago or something, right? VIRI actually supporting from the EMA 21 and EMA 55. I was expressing the importance here. We definitely need to make sure that VIRI closes upside of this range here, right? 110 to 122. And also, it would be ideal for us to close upside of the EMA 55. If we don't get that and close upside of the SMA 21 only, that's okay too. All right, but we have to evaluate this. But this looks like it could be a very strong breather for the asset, and it could be marking off a chop zone, right? So meaning this could be an area of consolidation for the time being. Okay, and then we could actually make a move to the upside. I'm not sure if the asset is actually waiting for some type of a fundamental metric to be released or something, right? But yeah, we'll go ahead and keep an eye on it. What we are seeing here, however, is that there is a complete validation process right now of the potential silver cross, right? EMA 21 over the EMA 55. Another thing to keep in mind here is that I said yesterday that we could reach 126 to validate the golden cross at the SMA 50, right? So let's go ahead and just take a look at that real quick. If this thing ever decides to load up, let's go ahead. Come on. Go. Here we go. Okay, so let's load up the daily time frame and keep in consideration here the golden cross. Okay, so price action, damn, it actually capitulated right now to 113 right today and holding at that 127, right? So this is literally where I was talking about yesterday, the SMA 50. I just didn't expect that we would actually capitulate that low, but we had the area of support marked off anyway. Okay, so very good deal, team. I think, I'll go ahead and update VIRI hopefully in the video tonight, and we'll continue looking at it, right? So just keep your eyes on your targets, guys. Never give back whatever you've already. There's literally no reason to let your green day or let your green trade turn red. Okay, GTII, no, but it's still consistent, right? GTII is in this heavy pressure to the downside. I'm expecting still. Remember, I was mentioning a little bit earlier that I'm expecting GTII to actually touch down to the 68 to 71.28 cent level, and that would mark off a very important support, as we've actually used it before for a huge upside. Right, so and also here, right, resistance literally at that 70 cent mark, then a takeoff, actually resistance at 70 before a breakdown, right? So I mean, there's a lot of reason behind this support. if we are to fail this, it would be in respects to that 6-month bearish engulfing, right? So, man, this is getting dangerously close, guys. 1 day and 2 hours left to close this semi-annual. Okay, remember that this is one of the most important closures that we are to experience in the broader markets, right? It literally happens only once a year because of the semi-annual, 6-month. Right, so we're looking at the 6-month closure, bearish engulfing here, right? So we're also looking at the quarterly closure, huge red candle there, not a problem. Still within range though, within that chop box, right? Bi-monthly closure, bearish engulfing as well, and we have the monthly closure happening, and of course we also have the weekly and bi-weekly closures. Okay, so that is what I mean by a massive macro closure happening tomorrow. Okay, so we must be reactive to whatever the price action does introduce to us. Okay, so just make sure to keep your eye on those things. Okay, because there is some serious things and implications leading to these closures. Okay, so SOUN, it still looks bullish. I would just have to say that we have to kind of validate this new high, right? There's a what the hell is this, right? Let me just get rid of this here. Random yellow line there. Right, so the zone that we're in, you see the price action is the red line here, right? You see that this is a very clear area of resistance. That's the chop zone that I'm talking about. Look at this chop zone here. This is literally within these candle tops to the very top side of these candles here. We actually already penetrated the top side of this one here. This is the tweezer top that we faced back here in February 8th, right? That's the resistance top that we got, and a huge capitulation from it, right? So this is in a very, very broad scale, creating a higher high structure, right? So it is bullish, right? It is bullish. So but we just want to practice some heavy discretion within this, right? So, I'm liking what I'm seeing here, guys. I'm still bullish SOUN Soundhound, right? But I do believe that we have some macro supports to validate, but it gets dangerous in these areas too, right? Some people may get impatient and just sell off, because we do have people with averages sitting from 253, right? So these are people long this asset with, easily 100% up or something like that, right? So let's just see that. There you go. People up 101% to the upside, currently at about 80% up, right? So that's what I'm talking about. If they incur any more losses, as it starts to come down to the 429 target, that would mean that they're down now to about 68%, right? So this is literally giving back your profits that you have acquired or not yet realized, right? So that's something that you don't want to do. So oftentimes people will close position and wait for a better entry zone or a discount for entry, right? So watch out for that. Don't give back. Don't allow yourself to fall into the narrative that you must hold here, hold the line because you matter to the world, guys. You're one position. I'm talking about if your position is worth $300,000, $500,000, you're not moving this market. You are not moving the price action needle on this thing at all. Okay, so just know that. Okay, so if you're at a threshold here of like, let's say 20 shares to upwards of 2,000 shares, you're not moving it. So keep your eyes on your longs, all right, team? Don't hold the fort here. Don't hold the bag for everyone. Make sure that you can take your piece when it's there, okay, team? As it is a dog-eat-dog world, and Darwinism actually exists, right? So, I'm saying curious to hear what you think about NVDA possibly filling the gap if you want to look at it next week or something. My bro, you know what? Let this be the last one that we look at, right? I haven't seen you in a long time, and I think that it's only fair for me to actually look at something that you asked for, right? But I do have to get my son up, of course, right? So NVDA, is it a daily gap? Let's see. Yes, the daily gap is actually too far. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This one right here, right? 367.26. No. Oh my goodness. This is a $400 asset, right? $407.93. You're talking about the potential of a minimum move of, let's see. I mean, no, man. A 40-point move to the downside. That's unreal. That's ridiculous. But I mean, I see the potential, of course. I'm not ignoring it. But then to introduce the potential of an 80-point move to the downside, that's. I don't think we even have the available liquidity. First of all, we have the SMA 50 located back here at 343. If anything, I would see that as a higher probability, right? But the thing is that the heaviest, the invalidation zone is actually a range, and a very hard range to beat. And that would be this range right over here. 366 to 373.81, right? So that invalidation zone, closing any daily, I'm talking about a daily candle closure, and I'm not speaking of like a wick inside of this. I'm talking about a clean break, meaning a candle entirely outside of this range here. One closure of that would introduce a multi-point drop, which would be an amazing short play. Right, but at this point, I do not think that we even have the liquidity to reach down to this area of 373, as the markets are not actually weak, right? So keep an eye on the broader markets, because this is tech that we're looking at, right? So now if we go back to SPY, right, it's sitting at that 437. It's holding the support. On the daily time frame, note as well that we're above the SMA 10, which usually serves as that guide to the upside. Right, so what I'm basically saying here is that Nvidia actually still has thrust to look at. Downside here, if I were to tell you, and I'm not sure if you're actually looking at this, then there is a smaller gap, and that would be the more likely area to look at for long ranges this year. This is what I'm looking at for the next few days: 395.17 to 397.34. So. Yeah, so Sebastian Lim saying FNGR doing what you're saying now, Arca, knocking the door at the golden pocket, likely downside from here, I guess. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, bro. It actually did it. Yeah, this was the upside that we're looking for, right? Heavy resistance within this area here. Okay, so I would just be very careful, team. This is it's not overall, it's not bearish, right? We just don't want a daily, let me see, the daily candle. Oh my goodness, we actually gapped down today, right? So let's see. So for the 12-hour, I think we have to play it. Yeah, we have to play it on the 8-hour or the 12-hour. An 8-hour closure beneath the wick low of this candle here, which is 254. That would introduce a downside here to this target that we're talking about to validate the SMA 50 or the golden cross. Okay, so watch out for that, okay, team? So, yeah, but it's a heavy resistance within this area here. So it's literally reconverting this channel here. We're reconverting it into a resistance, this one. So that's actually about to resist one more time, literally right over here, as if it didn't already, right, with this price action here. So, but yeah, it's introducing some downside here, but also we have the support. We have a critical support at 255 still, okay? But just watch out for it. I don't want you to give back whatever. I don't want you to give back all that stuff, okay? So, damn it, team. Screw it, man. Come on. Let me just see my son real quick. I mentioned yesterday, that's in the video, that COSM is consolidating right now. So there's really no shares being traded at the moment. There's no actual news coming out just yet. It's another quiet period. And I expressed that my chop zone is now located between 298 and the better part of about 309. Okay, so this is going to be an area that we're going to be chopping around for some time. There's no volatility here. There's things indicating that we may see an upside here, and actually the setup is pretty nice. Okay, but I would usually that 297 to 301 is the loading zone for this before a rip, right? But as long as there's no action happening, then you don't want to get trapped here. But yeah, this is, I said this yesterday, and I really did say that we're to expect not much movement. Are you on Spotify, Arca, ready to hear your jams? I am, but that would be releasing my identity, right? So I wouldn't actually like for you to listen to that stuff either. So, but I will be putting out other stuff. Berenson, such a good question. Why change? Saying sorry, I'm late. Hi all, my brother. I'm actually about to leave. I actually have to wake up my son. Right, it's already a little late in his schedule. I need to get this guy. He's literally still asleep. Of course he's asleep. He interrupted his night and messed up my whole schedule. right? So, Snowdrifter saying, thank you, Arca. Fun times and great knowledge. Absolutely love it, man. I love sharing these times with you guys. I'm gonna try to get back at it at 7 a.m. Is just my boy here, man. He's just he's having a little bit of a hard time at night, but wish me luck. I'm sure he'll be okay this night, and we'll be streaming back to normal again at that hopefully 7:30 a.m. threshold that we're facing, right? But for now, team, I do have to actually call it quits. I must get this guy up if we want to continue on tomorrow, right? So 1 minute with Arca is 12 hours with other fit influencers, man. Finance influencers is what you mean, right? Yeah, man. Buddha Mike, dude, thank you so much for everything you do, my bro. So anyway, team, I really appreciate everybody for coming by. Keep your eyes on APE and AMC if you are still along that ticker. I'm looking to get the hell out forever and never ever look back, right? But with that said, I love you, Sebastian Lim, moderator Hound, Samantha, love you guys so much. So hope your little one gets to feeling better. Thank you so much. Off-Grid Gorilla, thank you so much for everything you do, my bro. You're very welcome. Okay, team. So, Baron said, I'll catch you later. JD Nettles saying, I got you guys. I'm sorry that I didn't pay attention to the entire chat here, right? It's just coming in late. We have to push through everything. But anyway, team, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for everything. I will catch you at the bell mañana. All right, team. Adios is right, Baron said. Peace. Later, guys.